Hi, this is Kimberly. Please enjoy our podcast, but remember our doctors are only here to educate, not diagnose. If you have any questions or need any further information, please email me. My email address is kim@mfwellness.org.
Hello, everybody. Hello. We are back from our hiatus. We missed a week. We had a bunch of stuff going on. And now we're in the new place. And everything is going to be, look, everything is going to be okay. We're all together. The new place is open. We're seeing everybody. And we're seeing it comfortably and easily. We have tons of great therapies now. All this room. And I know for the other doctors, I'm assuming for Kim, like this is a dream come true for us. I started out practicing at 600 square feet, 700 square feet, and now we have 5,000. And
Just under.
That's right, 4,975. Because if you have 5,000, you have to put in an overhead fire suppression system, which puts the building out of the ballpark of what we can afford.
Patients have been asking us, hey, how big is this building?
It's 4,000.
And I'm like, it's just shy of 5,000.
Right. Don't say 5,000, because then the fire marshal will come back. It's 4,975.
Yeah, it's just shy of that number.
That's right.
They're like, well, how do you know that it's just shy of that number? I'm like, because if we preach the number we're not going to talk about, it's got to be your sprinkler system.
As you approach 5,000, it hits the asymptote.
Yeah.
That it rises exponentially. The cost of the building. That's what it sounds like. That's the cost of zeros being added to the bill, which was already incredible. Anyway, as we record this, it's our third day in practice at the new facility. And every night when we've left, I've kind of choked up in the parking lot. Every night. I get a little, because I'm walking out with my staff. We're all together. Winter has left. It's nice out, and the lights are on, and it's like, holy cow, we did it. And so my point is that this would not be possible without the patients that make up our Midwest family wellness family, and the patients of our wives and families and staff for putting up with us during this process, because it's been a very long 3 years, and I am just so grateful to every single person. So thank you all. Having said that, let's talk about poop, huh?
Yeah.
It's time to talk about dung.
A little bit of poopology.
That's right. Yeah. So we've been threatening to talk about poop for a long time.
Ever since the first
podcast.
Yeah.
And it's so important because it's an indicator of how your body is functioning. And people don't want to talk about it because it's gross, and it's totally gross, But it needs to be gone over. And what we're going to do is we are going to go over it. And so we've broken this down into 3 segments. Dr. Maurer, what are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about frequency. That's always
nice.
Something people don't want to ask about,
right.
But they're concerned about.
Right.
And
Right.
then also how that changes over time as
right.
we get older.
Right.
It does tend to change. So we'll talk about that and what's too frequent and what's
awesome.
not frequent enough.
Awesome. And then Dr. Fink, what do you got for us?
I'm going to be talking about what makes up a healthy poop and what poop should be looking like.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Nice,
and
bro.
then how's it kind of formed.
That's fantastic. And then I'll talk about its relationship to the chiropractic adjustment. And then on a side note, we have 3 bathrooms here now. Whereas before in the other practices, we had 1 and they were kind of small. Except for the Winsville bathroom was like Taj Mahal. And but
it
this
was pretty fancy.
It was awesome. The Cottonwood bathroom was not. And
That's a really good sayings outside of it.
It did. And now we have 3. So
we had a good saying in Winsville.
Yeah.
we have 3 times the flushing power, which is pretty awesome.
Something about time here being treasured.
No, a moment in time treasured forever.
Yeah. that was an extra saying that got sent with our other ones, and so I was like, the best place will be the bathroom.
Right there when you turn around and sit down. So. Anyway, it's just really an exciting situation here.
Sorry for the interruption. Dr. Josh had to step out for a minute.
While Dr. Josh is out working the details of our new trash container, we are going to go ahead and keep going.
Yeah.
He does not know.
He doesn't know.
It's going to be a
But
surprise.
he'll find out later. So, what I want to talk about was frequency of the BMs. So, and I think this is a big deal because, one, people don't, even though, we're their doctors, they still don't necessarily want to talk to us about how many times they're going to the bathroom. So, and I think it's also a big deal because we always hear once a day. It's got to be once a day, same time. And that is great. If you're going once a day, same time, you're on schedule, that's awesome. But there's a lot of people out there who don't necessarily go that frequent, or actually they go more than that. So, and I did a lot of researching, and I referenced a lot of gastroenterologists, and they all were very specific on this. And they say if you're in the range of 3 times a day, even out to 3 times per week, if it's a regular type schedule, that's okay. And I know that 3 times a week, that kind of sounds like, but
Yeah, that's a big time.
that is a
difference.
big difference.
Bodies are different.
Yeah.
But as long as you're staying, I guess we would call it regular on that schedule, then that's okay. But now if you're all over the place and you're going through bouts of constipation, and then you're going the other direction, you're going bouts of diarrhea, then we need to look at some factors that might be causing that.
So is this for like adults or?
This is more geared towards adolescents into the adult range. And with that said, as we get older, that frequency can change. And a lot of different. I want to talk about some of the factors that can lead to, you losing that frequency, that proper frequency in between bowel movements. So, and I want to kind of talk about maybe things that we can do to remedy those as well. So one thing that happens as we get older is that we do lose a little bit of muscle tone. Mm-hmm. Some of that's within the bowel. So that's kind of hard to remedy that, but some of that is in our ab muscles. So maintaining a good core in terms of those muscles, I think that's a good way to try to combat that.
Absolutely.
Part of it. So that's one. Another one which is tough to control is slowed peristalsis.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
What is that?
Slowed peristalsis.
So those are the basic contractions. You have no control over them, but it's the contractions that cause
push it out.
that push it through your system.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you know the different types of muscles in the body? Skeletal, muscular, striated, smooth. When you pick your nose, that you're using voluntary muscles, but there are muscles inside your body, in your esophagus, in your colon, that constrict as a result of stimulation from the nervous system, but you can't voluntarily control it. You can't make it happen.
So that's a little tougher to handle, but that does happen. One thing that can be controlled is that as we get older, we tend to exercise and move less, and that can have a big effect on motility of our bowels.
Oh, motility, bro.
Yeah.
Woo. It's two great words in 4 sentences, Tim. I hope you're keeping track.
That's a poopology phrase right there.
That's right.
Motility.
Fluid intake.
Like fatality.
Yeah.
For
This
some reason.
fall.
Hey,
Mortal Kombat.
the new movie, the new trailer came out.
It did. I saw that, man.
Mortal Kombat.
We'll see. We'll see how she does.
Fluid intake is a big one.
Uh-huh.
Got to make sure, no matter what, we're still taking in a lot of fluids. For some reason, on average, we take in less fluid as we get older.
I wonder why.
Maybe mobility.
Well, you're moving less. Your body's gonna, be less.
I feel like you're more
Feel.
aware that you need fluid when you're older.
How do you know? How do you know, Kim? You're like. How?
Well, because I didn't
Maybe
care when I was younger, and now that I'm older, I care about water.
Kim, you're like 30.
31.
Oh, Kim, everyone listening to our podcast just rolled their eyes, right? There's a bunch of people out there in the world, their eyeballs are on the floor because they just rolled them so hard.
One last thing I want to talk about as we get older is also medications.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
the number of medications that we start taking potentially is a lot more. So
And a lot of that.
a lot. Yeah, you talk to some of our patients.
Holy cow.
Our big goal is to try to help them, in any way to help reduce those. But
Yeah.
things like calcium channel blockers, narcotic pain meds, antacids, antidepressants, and also if you all of a sudden stop taking if you're someone who's relying on laxatives and you stop taking those abruptly, going to cause some issues, or the other way around.
Yeah. One of our very first, most incredible cases was the daughter of a very prominent St. Charles primary care doctor. And she had to take a spoonful of avocado oil every day in order to go to the bathroom. She never, ever went regularly until we started adjusting her.
Yeah.
And then the pain medication really, especially if it's a heavy dosage of it, absolutely stops the production. It really constipates the bowels. So if you have a major surgery, you have other stuff going on, it really
Messes
really
you
stops
up.
you.
Yeah.
Stress too, right?
if
Like,
you-
wouldn't stress be something?
Yeah.
Can
Anything
go-
that
can go either
changes the
way.
catecholamines in the body, anything that changes that, the sympathetic. Well, I'll talk about it here in a minute, but for those of you who just kind of maybe heard Dr. Matt's voice be soft and then go firmer, he was majestically gazing out the window like he's in some movie.
Like some kind of unicorn.
We have these
I feel like
huge.
a unicorn.
When Jamie and I did a survey of what the staff really wanted in the new place, one of the most important people in the world, Peggy, told us that there had to be a lot of natural light. There had to be, and we designed this place. The windows are so much bigger than the offices allow for. So each window is about 24 square feet of glass, and so. Dr. Matt, I have caught myself, and I'm sure everybody has, just looking out the window because it's so
And I
damn big.
think Peggy's been back there soaking up that
Oh yeah,
Oh, she
that
loves
winter
it.
sun. That's
she loves it.
Everybody
Yeah.
else
On the
back
backside
there
of
is
our
super
building.
hyped. She's like, this is great.
And the way the light moves through this building, as it goes from morning to evening, and how it catches the massive amounts of openings we have, it's just incredible. You couldn't have asked for it. And it's just the way the office runs north to south. It catches it just perfect. So. Anyway, Dr. Matt it looked like there should be a soundtrack playing. He's stroking his beard and looking out our window.
a black and white picture.
Thinking about food.
Yeah. Thinking about that in a minute.
That's a poopy gaze.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that was it. I'll pass it on to Dr. Matt so he can talk about what it should look like.
All right, Dr. Fink.
What makes up the old poop?
I love it.
So, if we're talking about poop and how it's formed, we want to start with where food is intaken through the mouth, goes through the stomach, goes to fundus, and then from there starts really being absorbed. Different food particles, different nutrients. So as we work from the small intestine, and then go to the large intestine, all the way down to the rectum, and then anus, and then being expressed out.
Damn, Nick.
You guys should have seen everybody's face when he said that word.
I know, right? Everybody
Oh,
leans
God.
in.
I mean, it is what it is. It's poop. There's no topic that we're not going to talk about on this podcast because it's essential. Anyway, so when we look at and we talk about poop, we want to make sure that there's enough water and enough fiber in being ingested to make up the stool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Basically, what you want is, 3 or 4 pieces of poop to be expressed per sitting. Nothing too runny, nothing too solid. Kim, what is wrong?
This is a weird
This is what we
topic.
talk about at my house all the time.
Well, I'm sure, yeah, I get it. You have kids. Like, you gotta talk about kids' poop.
Yeah, and then
I just don't have kids, so I don't
Don't
talk
your
to Mark
dog?
about
Don't
his
you?
poop.
Don't you check out your dog's poop, Jake?
No, I let him do
You're
what
like,
he
oh,
needs to do out there.
What did you eat?
I
You
guess
don't
it's-
keep an eye on what's in there? What
I
if
mean,
like,
I
he
make
ate,
sure-
somebody
I
ate a
make
bottle
sure-
cap or something?
My dog doesn't do that.
Oh yeah, Kim, your dog is an angel.
Yes.
But yeah, when you have a newborn, you look at their poop all the time. That's all you do. So like you can you check it. Even the pediatrician's like, hey, what kind of stool did they have? And then they, from the beginning to right to the point where they're potty training, you have to make sure that you're checking on occasion, make sure you know what it looks like. I know it's not a cool
not a
subject.
pretty
It's not a fun thing. It's not cool, but you want a normal, equidistant length poop.
Nice, bro.
Yeah,
I like it.
and that's what you want. And you do that by water, enough fiber, and the peristalsis that's going on through the colon, small intestine to large intestine.
Nice. That's
Also, just check out your poop. I know it's gross, but make sure that there's no extra stuff going on in there.
nice, bro. Eloquent. It's very difficult to do what Dr. Fink just did.
Can I ask a question
Go
about
ahead.
I love it.
that? This is gonna be so gross.
It's all gross, bro.
Why is it that when you eat corn, it's still corn?
Okay, that's a great question. What nutritional value does corn have?
Nothing.
Well, I mean,
I
if
don't
it's
know.
you eat it and it comes out and it looks the same, how much did it give you?
Nothing.
That's right.
So the insides of it, your body digests, but the fiber,
Also, chew slower.
yeah, right,
I don't.
still intact.
Yeah.
Plants have cell walls. We don't break those down. Animals don't. Humans don't break those down. So if it goes in, that cell wall's coming out. Unless it gets physically, we don't chemically break it down. We physically mash it up, but we don't chemically. That's why eating plants is very good for clearing out your guts.
Wow.
And if we're talking about poop, talking about gas, right? You're going to be a little bit more gassy once you start changing processed food into real food.
That's
because
right.
as your body breaks it down, it's going to release. It's good gases.
Right.
Because now.
Nice. Nice. He's been waiting for hours.
It's good gases. It's good gases that you're
Free
creating
real
in your
estate.
colon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem. Like, processed food doesn't get broken down.
That's why broccoli, leafy greens. You'll notice the smell of your poop changes.
And the look of it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh.
Cool.
So what I'll talk about is why on earth are we talking about this? One of the things that we notice time and time again is, there's two things really that get reported to us that don't have too much to do with what we're doing. One, patients are always saying, "Oh, I was able to quit my antidepressants," and number two, I could stop taking a laxative, or I could go regularly.
You're talking about after they...
After they start getting adjusted, yeah, they hit some consistent care. And the thing is that the nerves that control the motility of the large intestine are not controlled by us voluntarily. We can't make ourselves go. But those nerves have a feedback loop, and that to speed up or slow down or add water or take more water away, billions and billions of little nerves in there feeding back into what's called the lumbosacral plexus, which is commonly called the second brain, and then up into the brain itself. And there's the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system work to speed up and slow down that process. Now, all of those nerves, whether we can control them, whether they're afferent, carrying information to the body or to the organ or from the brain, all of those things have to enter the spinal cord. And all of those things are governed by the vertebra that are in the area that they enter the cord. And by that I mean the stuff that controls the guts usually enters the lower parts, the lumbar spine. And if those bones are fixated, if those joints are stuck, then the openings and the ease with which those nerves pass into the spinal cord can be compromised. That's all we're saying. Over time, you can get pressure on those nerves or constrictions to the nerve opening, all kinds of stuff, and the nerve doesn't transmit as well. So we start adjusting you, all of a sudden the fixations go away, nerve communication is restored, and now everything starts flying out of your body. This is actually pretty dang common in chiropractic care for people that have low back injuries, disc bulges, especially disc bulges. We see it. We put a disc back in and it's on, And so we tell people, like, you're going to be lightheaded because of the pressure is going to come off your spinal cord, and you're going to have to go to the bathroom, both of those things. And so we just stare at them for a minute after we adjust them, and then they run off to the bathroom. So it's okay. These things happen. We know. But that's why.
And babies too.
Man.
Man, we see so many young, under 1 year.
Yep. They call me the poop whisperer. I've been crapped on by babies, by more doctors than I know. It's because they're all stopped up, and we do some light massage and some real light, sustained contacts to their tiny little bodies, and then the poop flies out. And there are ways to stimulate and de-stimulate, I guess, if you want, the parasympathetic, sympathetic nervous systems to help those babies go to the bathroom. And plus, those little guys don't have the abdominal strength. The TA is not developed, the quadratus lumborum, all the muscles that help you bear down, they don't have those yet. So pooping is really tough for them. So there's some things that you can do and to help them get in a position to make that easier. Cool. Basically, yeah.
The squatty potty,
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, if we wanted to go a little bit further with the poop talk, what does your situation look like? Well, do you have a nice toilet? Do you have an elongated toilet?
Yeah.
Do you have to hover when you sit down? The newest thing is the squatty potty, which is actually really good for you because it mimics
Squatting
out in the wild how you should be pooping to begin with.
Humans aren't made to sit; they're made to squat.
Yeah.
Isn't that how they do it in
the world? Yeah, a lot of places.
Yeah.
Everywhere but
It's
here.
just a hole in the ground.
really?
Yeah, just a hole in the ground, Kim.
Yeah. So having your feet elevated as you're on the toilet, it
Compresses your guts, bro.
That's right, and it makes it so much easier.
We compress them.
If you ever want to try it out, go out into the woods, dig yourself a
hole. There's actually in the hunting community, there's a big movement of people who are really mad about people that defecate in public ground and don't cover it up. It's actually a movement of people that have stickers and everything, because so many people, because of COVID, have hit the state parks. People are just going to the bathroom outside, dropping them.
What?
It's a big deal.
What do the stickers say?
It's a bad word. The name of the phenomena is called surface, and then the S word.
Sure.
And then the present participle, ing.
Yeah.
So the thing, right, is it's called the ASS movement, the anti-surface blank movement. So you can check it out. They have stickers. And they're like,
great.
Bury your poop, man. I mean, how irresponsible. I mean, come on, man. Get out of the woods.
That's like naked.
I mean, go to the woods, but like do it right.
Yeah.
Like who hasn't been out hunting? Anyway, okay, never mind. We'll just get into a huge story.
We gotta get you a sticker.
Okay. Anyway, we covered this. We can now refer to this episode when we're talking to our patients. That was the most important thing. I'm we're all so grateful to be in this new place. It's like a dream. It really is like a dream.
Pretty awesome.
It is great. 2 weeks we'll come back with you. We'll be back with chiropractic research. Start covering that on the podcast topics again, and then we'll start hitting this stuff pretty regularly. So please come in and see us. If you want to check out the new place, get the tour. It'll be wonderful. Oh my gosh, Kim.
Real quick.
That's funny.
Oh, Deuce. Yeah, Deuce.
Two. Yeah.
Oh,
two
nice.
questions.
Nice.
Funny.
Good one.
What do we see most often in the office related to doo-doo? Is it like constipation?
Constipation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
By far and away. I don't remember last time something was uncontrollably going. But if
if they have,
man.
they didn't tell us. It's like, hey, my low back feels a lot better.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But
Right.
I noticed that.
That's right, Dr.
After
Fink.
a couple weeks, I don't have nearly as bad
Yeah.
diarrhea, and it's much more consistent.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's constipation.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dr. Brad, what you were talking about, the time frame or how often you should be going, what would it be for babies?
Oh, it's a more. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
Whap, 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 whap. Yeah.
It was. I said for more into the adult range, it could be 3 times a day, even out to 3 times a week if it's consistent. Well, babies are.
Like 3 times a day?
Three times in the morning.
Yeah.
At least. And there's tremendous difference between formula and breastfed babies and how often they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything that parent, like if they're listening to this?
Yeah. What's the low end?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've got a baby that isn't going to the bathroom once a day or more than once a day, it's that low. That's a lower end.
Yeah.
Just get that checked out. And
need
it
to be more
does happen.
frequent.
It absolutely happens. But get it checked out. Make sure your pediatrician knows. But your pediatrician will ask. Because that is...
the first thing they ask is
that's
how
always...
many soil diapers and how many wet diapers.
And that's
what
right.
they ask.
And also talk to us, because sometimes the remedy
Yeah.
is like Miralax, and
Yeah.
then if they're getting on that consistently, then
Yeah.
they never get back to the they
Yeah.
don't get back to the normal.
Yeah, let us make sure that it's not, something that happened from birth trauma or, C-section or this or that. So
Okay.
cool. Okay, cool. Dr. Fink, you have anything for the people?
I do not.
Dr. Maurer for the people?
Not really, I'll just say, as you can tell, we're not too shy about talking about it. So if you have questions
For real.
in the
Come on
office,
in.
let us know.
Right?
Keep that food healthy,
Ooh, that's right. All right, so for Kimberly, for Dr. Fink, for Dr. Maurer, I'm Dr. Joshua Fink, and we will talk to you in 2 weeks. Thanks.
And a big thank you goes out to Hug Monster Sound for somehow allowing the doctors' voices to sound even better than they already do.